Hi guys and welcome to Gadget Reviews and to this live reaction and review of the new final trailer of Eternals. So this morning, my time, I was surprised that this came out, but excited nonetheless because I'm actually very excited about this movie. The cast is amazing and I think the premise is very interesting. I hope we're going to get more info in this trailer, so without further ado, let's see it.
5 years ago, Thanos erased half of the population of the universe. But the people of this planet brought everyone back with a snap of a finger.
Yep.
The sudden return of the population provided the necessary energy for the emergence to begin.
Uh-oh.
How long do we have?
7 days.
Damn. Things are getting serious
We're
again.
Eternals. We came here 7,000 years ago to protect humans from the deviants.
Wow!
Why didn't you guys help fight Thanos? Or any war, or all the other terrible things throughout history?
Yeah, that's what
We
we
were
all
instructed
asking.
not to interfere in any human conflicts unless deviants are involved.
By who?
Makes sense.
We need to find the others.
I haven't seen some of them for centuries.
Hi.
Hello.
Wow,
This
she's
is what the
amazing.
end of the world looks like. At least we have front row seats.
You know what's never saved the planet? Your sarcasm.
We have loved these people since the day we arrived. When you love something, you protect it.
You can't protect. Any of them.
Superman! Oh. Oh,
I
that's...
bet you've built the perfect safe house. And what's this even made of? Vibranium?
Fall collection. IKEA.
Oh yeah, makes sense. Okay guys, let's break this down and see it. First of all, is this trailer a good trailer? This is a very, very good trailer. I mean, they answered all of the internet's questions, basically, why they didn't interfere and what they've been doing this whole time. So basically, they have been amongst people for 7,000 years, just, monitoring the situation and waiting for some of, the deviants to appear. So, let's recap now.
5 years ago, Thanos erased half of the population of the universe.
It's always kind of, it's kind of bugging me when I see characters that are supposed to be godlike or gods in human attire. It's just, I don't know what it is. I mean, in different context, maybe, when you have a movie about, let's say, just God and he is just changing appearance in between different people. And this kind of a concept is different, feels different. It still feels very godly. But when you see, characters that look a certain way, I mean, the same as they usually look, so they're not, changing appearances or something like this, set in super normal environments with normal human clothes, I just don't like that. For some reason, it just throws me off because I'm like, okay, why are you making these characters so human-like? I need to see how they differ from humans. And then when they're in their costume, they're still the same, but with the costume. So I personally need something to emphasize that they're so godly, you know, because otherwise they're just like regular human beings. And this is, you know, to me at least, making them less special and like less impressive in a way. I don't know if you know what I mean, but I get that they have to blend in with the population if they want to have some kind of an interesting life for 7,000 years. They cannot just be amongst themselves and talking to themselves this whole time. That's totally understandable. I'm just saying, you know, this could always be done better, so it's obvious to us as the viewers, I mean, as viewers, that they are, you know, a bit more, not a bit more, a lot more in a lot of other ways. But maybe in the movie that's going to be more apparent. This is just a trailer, but this is also judging by the trailer, so I'm just saying what I'm seeing, you know, judging by the trailer. Okay, so this trailer does explain everything. As far as I know from the comic books, or at least I mean what I know from the comic books, is that you know, the deviants are the opposite of the Eternals. They are both created by the same entities, which their name escapes me right now, but basically those are the bigger, huge ones that we saw a bit later, and they were like closed on Earth, like I mean closed in terms of kept there as some kind of a state of sleep or just something like that. I mean, here in the movie could be different. They could, you know, come up with some other thing, you know, like some other state or whatever. I'm just saying what I can tell you from the comic books, what I seen, although that was a few months ago. So I'm gonna refresh my memory when we get to the movie in November. I just don't remember why these entities created both the Deviants and the Eternals because they are opposite each other. And then they said, well, keep the deviants out of it. We don't want actually to be evil, like look at that thing. Okay, that's really cool. And you can tell that Marvel did took a lot of pointers from DC, how they create the heat vision, because they're the only ones that have this in live action. And I think in general, I mean, in comic books, obviously he has the heat vision, but in terms of live action realization of this power, DC are the ones that have years of experience trying to recreate that on screen in the best way possible. So in this case, they have the light around the eyes, which makes sense if a ton of energy is going to be projected from anyone's eyes. Under the skin should have some kind of a luminance, I think. So that's pretty amazing, and it's glowing yellow or gold, you can say. Looks amazing. How he flies also, that could also be inspired by Superman in any case.
Why didn't you guys help fight Thanos?
And here's Kit Harington, sorry, character, his knight character. So he is like the only one who's one of the main characters, at least one of the only ones that I know of that is not an Eternal but is a superhero basically.
All the other terrible things throughout history.
So yeah, throughout the centuries they did nothing, they just didn't move their finger. Apparently they really appreciate people and they suffer if something happens, so especially because they cannot interfere, which is a big huge bummer. Yeah, these guys have to check how they were called. Damn it, it was not very, I mean, it was something that I always known because it was mentioned in, of course, other Marvel properties, I mean cartoons, obviously comic books, but yeah, the name escapes right now. They are huge though.
We need to find the others.
I guess all the Eternals just spread around the world and created their own culture around them. This is kind of how this looks like, you know? That they influenced each and every culture because they just spread. Angelina Jolie's character actually in the comic books is one of the most powerful, and she was like the leader, I think. She is amazing. I mean, Angelina Jolie is usually amazing, but now in this role just perfectly fits her. And if you see her in the comic books, she's just spot on.
This is what the end of the world looks like. Please be a
I
friend.
just love how they do manifest, so that's good.
You know what's never saved the planet? Yourself.
Camille Nanjiani looks very out of place. I don't know. It's gonna be hard for me to get used to him. I just, you know, never see him in anything like this. So he's like, I'm here too, and I'm like, what? But I'm gonna get used to him because he totally did change a whole lot. And I mean that in a good way, of course. So they are summoning the ship. I am very, very curious to see the first movie that I'm ever going to see by Chloe Zhao. I only heard about her, but never seen anything from her, so there's that. Okay, all of their costumes, as we saw in the first trailer, are awesome. That is why it's so strange to see them in normal human clothes, sunglasses, and amazing. They look amazing. Angelina Jolie looks absolutely stunning with this costume. Finally, Marvel, well, not only Marvel, but in general, finally, create a costume that will complement the female physique and not make her like more stocky, like Captain Marvel or something like that. I mean, Captain Marvel's costume is good, but is not exactly the most feminine ever. I like it, but could be a bit more feminine. And Angelina Jolie's figure is amazing, so to emphasize that is just no brainer for me. And this is like like a skin costume, and at the same time it's like very, you know, has this thickness to it, this armor quality. I don't know how to say it, but the texture, everything just looks so good. I really love when we see new costumes and new ways of doing costumes, and they're looking pretty cool and unique compared to anything else that we've seen. It's not like the usual fabric, so I just love that.
People since the day we arrived.
It's like a clay almost on their
Love
bodies.
something.
So yeah, obviously once again they do care about people a lot because they're the heroes, the opposite of the deviants. So yeah,
You protect it.
here's Kit Harington, and he sees this amazing manifestation of the power. And whatever this is, maybe it's like well, maybe as actually this is in the ship. Maybe this is in the ship. Who knows? Interesting powers. And here's one of the deviant, I think. And that is so freaking epic. How are they going to make this? I mean, how did they make this? Because if they put like a green screen spear and shield in her arms, we won't still see her arms and body, or she's just doing this like without nothing. It's gonna be. I mean, that's interesting just to me from a movie, creative perspective. Awesomeness. He's doing the same thing that Superman is doing, so that is strange to see from another character, especially if it's not DC. Thank you very much, Jake Lighton, for letting me know. Thank you. Hi, Fizantu too in the chat. Okay, that was a huge leap forward. And that, by the way, is CGI. I haven't noticed, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It looks good. Yeah, that's totally CGI, but it looks so good. Wow, what a leap that is. He is literally acting like Superman. Is that, I mean, does that being like hurt him or what is the deal here? I'm interested. So apparently she got caught, and that is a bit strange to see. But this guy's cool. Kind of reminds me of Ultron. Doesn't remind you of Ultron? Like if Ultron has an organic form. And look at that, that's so super pretty. I love it, don't get me wrong, I love it. But he doesn't even have his costume. Like, come on, put him in the costume at least in this moment. Okay, we have to see it in context. We have to. And that is also just like Zod putting his, I think it was, yeah, I think it was familiar scene in Superman, Zod, or the other Kryptonians. There was a scene where they put his head down and he was like, ah. I'm not sure about the angle. The angle was very familiar too. I mean, one of which was the battle in Smallville where they tried to put their hands on his face like Fiora and the other big Kryptonian, and then he just exploded through their fingers. I'm not talking about that. I kind of feel that there's similar scene where his head was put down but I just can't remember where or if I'm even right, but this is so familiar. It doesn't seem like he's hitting it though. Jesus, I mean, I wish they're really powerful because I don't like to see underpowered characters. I really like to see super powerful characters that kick ass so we can see things that in live action we do not often see. And something like, for instance, the quality of anime, how anime are doing moves, things, just mind blowing if we see in that in live action. Just imagine how it's gonna look. It's gonna be very hard to do and expensive, but live action could expand a lot more in terms of special effects and how things are shot when you see anime and manga. So there's something about camera angles that is just super amazing and unique. Just a few days ago, we saw Star Wars Visions, and that showed us that, well, when it's in anime, it just looks so impressive. And yeah, if I had a hat on my head, it would fall off. That's a Bulgarian expression, but yeah, it basically means that I'm gonna be blown away if it's gonna be in live action. So they always can make more things cooler in live action. Just when you think that you've seen everything in live action, no, you definitely haven't. There's still more things to show and more ways to be creative. So yeah, I just want to see super powerful powers and different camera angles and just amazing fights and all of that. Just me, but yeah. Eternals. I really like the font, it's great. And that too.
Well, what's this even made of? Vibranium?
No, it's IKEA, they're not really that durable. He has like a gray hair here, very interesting. Okay guys, so that was it. The Eternals trailer, absolutely amazing. In my opinion, they will not do more of these since this is the final trailer. Maybe we're going to see some TV spots, but I don't need to see more. I don't need to see more. This is incredibly sufficient, and it does explain the audience that especially are not that familiar with Eternals. And frankly, I'm getting familiar with them as I go, and before I never heard of them. Although I'm a comic book fan and superheroes fan since I was born basically, and still I haven't heard of them. But now that I did my research a few months ago when the first trailer came out, I feel very confident that this is just very interesting and it has huge potential, and it does start the next phase of Marvel because obviously we see where things are going. Then there's going to be the element of different time streams, and what Loki did. I mean, what happened with Loki. So the magic crowns, everything with WandaVision, everything I think is going to come together, and maybe the Kane guy, that Kane guy, he's going to be like the next maybe villain or next, and these guys here are going to be, I mean, the deviants are going to be the villains in the near future, or they just gonna combine the two. I have no idea right now because this is enough without having the time variants and streams to create another phase of Marvel, I think. Or they just gonna resolve it in this movie. It's just, yeah, there's still a lot of questions. Still a lot of questions. But yeah, dear Clayton, thank you. So I hope that you enjoy this trailer review, reaction, and the trailer itself. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. If you'd like to support me, please check out the link, that link, but down below to my OnlyFans, where I do my meaningful sex educational content, plus fitness, health, nutrition, everything that I can be helpful with. And with that being said, guys, see you very soon with me, Gage Reviews. Bye bye.